The episode starts out. Chin is bringing drugs, in essence, to New York through the World Fair that they've got going on. And he's hiding it in dummies, dolls, cheese boxes. He's hiding it everywhere. So they having a good time, and he's turning Bumpy on. They see all these things going on. Okay, everything looks good. I said last week to Mooch and the panel, I said that things are just going a little too smooth for me. Way too smooth. Way too smooth between these two. Something is going to happen. And you know what? The hell it did. So my man Chance, he's got him a little sweetie pie who I guess she's the madam for the Geechee. Yeah, she's the madam for the Geechee, right? And he comes up there to confess his love for her while a white dude is in there putting hands on one of these beautiful chocolate sisters. That sister right there, putting hands on a gator chicken eyeball. Chance has never been cool with this relationship brought together by Chin and Bumpy. So you know what Chance did? Chance said, I'm going to shoot your blank blank. And he shot him cold blood right there in front of the girls. And I mean, he wasn't playing. He just shot him just like, you know what?
He threatened to cut that girl's face.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and he needed to be shot. But here's the problem. It's 1960s. You're a black guy. You involved in the drug game. And then you shooting a white dude. And you didn't even need all that background for it to be a problem anyway. You didn't need all that. Okay? So he done took out one of Chin's boys. And Chin is basically telling Bumpy, look, Bumpy, you got a problem. You have a major problem that you're going to have to fix. And Bumpy's like, well, you know, what am I supposed to do? So Bumpy tells him, look, I'm going to send Chance away, and we're going to all drop this mess. Okay, so we think that that's the end of the story, right? Oh, no, not the end of the story. They go and scoop up this chick, the one on the right, throw her in a van, hold her hostage, and now, oh boy,
it's and put he on. Doesn't even leave town like he was supposed to.
Good point.
He had to do leave town.
Mm-hmm. But why? But think about it, Mooch. Why did he not leave town?
Because he was in love with Renee.
He was in love with Renee, and boy, you know, usually them madams, boy, they know how to put it on you.
And she was like, I don't know why you couldn't just shoot him in the leg.
Right. Well,
she's like, I could take care of myself.
Right. You and this is when they snatched her up. And so they done snatched her up. They get Bumpy involved to come and try to save her. And Bumpy goes, and Bumpy's been a real G Moochella throughout the whole thing. Bumpy's been telling Chin every step of the way what's going on. And so they come to an agreement to have an exchange. An exchange where he's gonna give up Chance to get the sister back. Only difference is Moochella, when it went down, none of that happened. Bumpy double-crossed Chin, shot Chin's men, gets the girl back. This relationship is sour, Mooch. Where are we gonna go with this relationship? Let me know.
He got dude in the cheek.
There he is, DC All-Star Larry.
How you guys doing?
We good, man. How about you, brother?
Hanging in there.
Okay. All right. So
Mooch, jump on the horse and catch up to us.
All right.
All right. Well, let me let Larry in. Larry, we're doing this. We're breaking it down by storyline of the character. So now we're on the Bumpy, Chance, Chin, the Madam. We're on that storyline. So break down your thoughts on that whole storyline on how Chance should have had left town. He didn't leave town. He's in love with the Madam. He was defending the rights of the black girl who was getting beat by the white guy, but that was one of Chin's men. And at the very end, Larry, you saw how Bumpy shot all of Chin's men, and now he's got his man back. He got the Madam back, but they've got big problems in their relationship. Larry, speak on it, my brother.
Yeah, Chance didn't love that woman.
What?
No, he didn't love that woman.
He didn't love her.
Just using that as an excuse to stay.
He has a large ego, and he used her as an excuse. I mean, he was up there trying to say he loved her. In reality, if he loved her, when he showed up to her house, he simply would have said, I need to leave town, come with me. And she could have left with him. You know?
I thought he did ask her to leave and go out of town with him. Didn't he?
Did.
No.
I thought he asked her.
He did.
No, he said he was going to
Let me check
stay.
my notes.
Yeah, go to your notes because I could have sworn he
Nah,
asked her to go. And
he
she
asked her
said,
to leave town, and she said no.
yeah, she said no. She said no.
And he said, I came to see you before I leave. And she said, I'm not. She said, you came over here for some pity.
I didn't hear him say that he was asking her to leave.
I know he said he was coming there to see her before he left.
Right.
And then the other thing was when he's up there not leaving and he's up there telling Bumpy, oh, when the Italians came after you, you didn't leave. And so it's like he's trying to be Billy Badass or something. It's just his ego. And his ego now turned around and got what, 4 people killed? Because the woman that he supposedly loved got killed and 3 Italians. And now we know that there's going to be far more people getting killed because now Chin has no option but to go after Bumpy and his people, which means Bumpy and his people are going to have to retaliate. It's just a bunch of ego. I mean, even the whole thing about trying to killing that dude over those girls, that was even ego because just like the woman said, she said, I've had a gun pointed at me before. I know how to handle myself. I mean, this woman is works in a whorehouse in what, the 1950s?
Hey man, don't call it that, man. Call it a house of pleasure. It's the Geechee, man. Dad, go on.
Okay, man. So she works in a house of ill repute. And
that still in the man, the house of pleasure.
Okay, she works in a hooker house.
And here we go.
Wow, you still going
we in the 1950s to hookers.
I'm just saying, she works there. You know that she knows how to handle herself. She didn't get to be that, where she is today and not have her face cut up or anything else because she doesn't know how to handle herself. So I think Chance just going after that dude and blasting him was just all about ego,
I still think he loved this woman because he did try to get her to go. The issue I have with him is his love for that woman was just as high as his hate for the Geechees. Not the Geechees, excuse me.
He didn't love her.
For the
if he really loved her, he either would have picked her up and taken her, out of town.
Yeah, I disagree with Larry. He loved that woman, but he also had he was a hothead on top of that. He wasn't thinking clearly. And I think the fact that woman wasn't going to leave with him, you got to think everything. You got to think about this. Bumpy stuck his neck out there for you. And then he did it again. So on some level, you got to hold Bumpy accountable too. Because
you know what though? I feel like when he came to the house and he should have stuck with his word when he said, I gave him an order. And he didn't follow it, so now he's on his own.
I agree. That's
what he should have did.
He should have done that.
He should have stuck to his guns with that. And
what really should have happened is because in that moment, Bumpy and Chin trusted each other, and even as all that stuff was going on, they didn't shoot each other. They still trusted each other. Really, what they should have done was simply said, you know what? Chin should have said, I'm going to bring the girl, you bring the dude, and we're just going to do the exchange. Just me and you, none of our men. That's it. And that's the way it should have went down. You should, because otherwise you run the risk of having happen exactly what happened. You have his dudes end up opening fire and killing people. And now you have a big mess. Their business is in ruins after this. They're going to be at war. The other families are going to be upset. And Chin's going to have to save face by going after Bumpy. All this could have been solved. They simply would have said, just me and you meet up. You bring the girl. I'll bring the guy. We do the swap and we're done with it.
I think Bumpy knew if they took Chance, they was going to kill him. And he didn't want him to die. That's like his right hand, yo.
Chance knew he... Well... Now he sacrificed a whole lot for Chance's life. We knew what was going to happen because Mamie told us. They always do foreshadowing. Mamie said, "Is your business with Chin Gigante worth more than Chance's life?" So as soon as she said that, we knew that his business was going to blow up over this. So
And another thing, this whole episode was about dignity. Did you notice that? In each storyline, it showed dignity. As far as dignity, we didn't get to Adam Clayton Powell's story, but it was dignity involved with that. It was dignity involved with when Chance said, how much dignity are we going to have to lose just to work with these guys? They don't respect us. They talk about us underneath their breath and this and that. And he's like, how much dignity? You're making a lot of money, but is it worth our dignity?
I mean, but it's no different than Bumpy and them. Bumpy and them didn't respect the Italians. They talked about them behind their back every moment they had. Neither side had respect for each other as a individual person. They had respect for each other as a criminal. They had respect for each other because they knew each other was dangerous, but it wasn't like they were friends for the most part. I mean, honestly, I think Bumpy and Chin, under different circumstances, could have been great friends and real allies because both of them were sort of underdogs that made their way up to the top, but
it seems like Bumpy and Chin might have been going closer to a road of possible friendship because they both speak to their clans as bosses. Like Chin was telling his people, okay, Ernie, who would have ever thought that we could get these niggas working together? And the same thing Bumpy was telling Chance and all his guys. But the problem is the underlings, they're not thrilled about this relationship because they're not the ones controlling the narrative. They're not the ones controlling the money. They're not thrilled about having to deal with these people. So they're not meeting and coming up and strategizing, coming up with plans the way the two heads of the table are having to do. It's chaotic, man, because I don't know what the hell is going to happen next episode.
To another one of my questions.